Hello there everyone, Tessa here today with a competitive guide to Sombra. With Sombra being the newest hero to the Overwatch community, she has a lot of hype, but you rarely see a good one on your team. Today I'm going to talk about things that you can do to perfect your Sombra play and to make it noteworthy for competitive. So let's start off with the team comp. So to discuss a matter of team comp, this goes to say with any hero that you play, your team is very important. Obviously you're going to want to pick into your team. So when you're picking for Sombra, the first thing to look for, does your team have a high amount of CC? The reason for this is your ult is reliant around people being able to die with before your ult runs off. So generally when I play Sombra, I look for things like Zarya or a Mei. And the reason for this is both Zarya and Mei can lock them in place, so when you use your EMP, they can't get away and they're guaranteed to die. Now, with that being said, there's obviously certain scenarios where Sombra does come into play outside of hard CC. You can easily get around a lot of choke points. There's a lot of different things that you can do with her EMP, as well as just her hack in general. Now, the downside to Sombra right now is that she is just basically a weaker version of Tracer with a different style of ult. A lot of people don't like seeing a Sombra on their team just simply because the Sombra doesn't know how to play Sombra or use the EMP accurately. So to start this off, we're really going to talk about when to use your EMP on Sombra. So Sombra's EMP builds remotely quick, as most of you would know if you played her at all. That being said, you can actually use it a lot more frequently than a lot of the assault characters ults, like a soldier. Soldiers is a little bit slower, so try to use your ult more frequently, but use it in a time when you know you're going to have your team there to back you up. A full EMP ult on the entire enemy team, if you're in there 1v6 or 2v6, it's not going to make a difference. It's definitely solid if you're going to jump in with your entire team. So key points to use it is if you see one or two enemies about to go down and there's a Mercy, your ult absolutely destroys Mercies because they can't res. They can continue healing, yes, but they're not going to be able to get that res off, which is what makes a Mercy a Mercy. The other thing to note is that your EMP will destroy all shields, including Reinhardt's shield. So if you have a Zarya on your team who groups them all up, and this Reinhardt decides he's going to hold his shield to absorb all the damage, you can easily just EMP his shield away, and then it's gone. So that's the gist of her EMP. So her hack ability, though, is essentially the same thing as the EMP, just it only hits one target. Now, generally when I play Sombra, I often hear a lot of people say, hack the healer, hack the healer. Hacking the healer does nothing. Every healer heals through auto attack or passive basis, except for Zenyatta. But Zenyatta is just going to DPS you down. Generally, I find myself more often than not hacking tanks. A monkey that can't jump or can't drop a shield is worthless. A Reinhardt that can't shield is worthless. On top of just their ults and their own. You can completely destroy a front line with your hack. And, you know, obviously you can go around hacking health packs, which is going to help overall because a lot of players like Tracers and Reapers, they rely a lot on health packs. They're scaling the map looking for those health packs. So if you can ensure they can't take them, it's going to make it so they can't get in more frequently. It's going to stress their healers out. And on top of that, it's extra healing for you if you do hack the health pack. So it is beneficial to actually do this. And her last core ability that you're going to use more frequently than the others is her lob. You know, she lobs the little thing, and then a few seconds later you can teleport it like you just saw in the clip. So basically this is an engagement / escape tool. Often in lower tier you're going to see a lot of Sombras that'll jump in with it and then try to jump away with it because it is a very, very short cooldown. However, this tool was actually brought into the game to be kind of like a behind the lines. You can easily just drop it on the ground, your safety net behind your Reinhardt, and then you can go invisible, get behind them, you can burst their Mercy or their Zenyatta out, and then you can hop out to safety. This is the preferred way to use it. However, if you're gonna die and it's up, use it to try to save yourself. That is more just your movement tool. Use it as you see fit, but do keep in mind that it does allow you to get in and out. Now, her most essential ability, and you won't use it as frequently because you can't use it while taking damage. You've kind of got to set up for it. You got to think about when you're going to use it. Is her invisibility tool. Now, for me as a Sombra player, I'm not, challenger tier. I'm not the best Sombra out there, but the way I use her invisibility is, like I said, I'll put my thing on the ground generally, and then I'll go invisible. And you'll notice what I'll do a lot is I will get behind the tanks. That way, the Reinhardt has to turn his back to my team. The D.Va has to turn her back. They're no longer shielding because they're taking that time hiding or trying to stop me from hitting them as a Sombra, allowing your team to focus and hit them from the backside. So that's the general rundown of her core abilities. So to get more in depth with what you're going to want to do with Sombra throughout the competitive play is you're going to want to really look for those picks. Just like on any assault character, you're wanting to focus down the healers. You're wanting to, output the most DPS. And where Sombra does have a lot of DPS, there are better heroes for this. So to make up for that, it all comes down to what you are capable of doing by yourself. Don't expect the Mercy to heal you. Don't expect Zenyatta's to chase you around the room. You're not going to have that happen. You are a solo player. Make sure you are constantly hacking health packs. You're constantly moving. And if you don't have any health packs, get to your healer. Don't expect them to chase you. Once a fight has broke out, your first goal is to kill the healer. And an easy trick to do this is just lob your E behind them, jump behind them, and it's so hard for low players to follow you. Even mediocre players struggle to keep up with somebody who's constantly jumping around while trying to defend them from the front. So after you've taken out the Mercy or the Zenyatta, whatever their healer may be, generally at that point, if you don't have ult up, you go for a tank because you're going to build your ult with an easy target to hit. They're also what's stopping your team from joining you. If you have to get out, obviously, but do not hesitate to get those extra last shots in. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, make sure that you're thinking about your team comp and knowing what your team's ults are capable of doing. Don't try to be that hero on Sombra. You can't be. You do not have the mobility that a Tracer has. You don't have the healing that a Soldier has. You don't have the burst that a Pharah has. You are an in and out character, and that's essentially what you have to be doing, is getting in and out. That's really all the tips that I have for a competitive Sombra. She is a very solid character if played right. It's all about finding your timings on when to get in and out, and then understanding that your EMP is only useful when you use it when your teammates are around. If you're not using it when your team's around, it's going to fall apart. You're going to have everybody complaining at you. The other day I went into a competitive game and I had everybody yelling at me, don't play Sombra, and by the end of the game, they were praying for my ults. They were, get in there, do more damage. It's not that they were being toxic, it's not that they were harping on me, it's that they could not win without my abilities going through. And that's essentially what you want to have happen no matter what character you're on, but it's so hard to prove on Sombra because she's not, quote-unquote God tier. She's very, very situational, and if you try to use her in a situation that you shouldn't, you're just going to end up hurting yourself. And that's what I have to say about Sombra. This is my first YouTube video. I do appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch. If you wouldn't mind, please do comment, leave me suggestions, and be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like what I do. I'm going to be trying to post a new video every day, ranging from guides to just about anything out there, Overwatch related, and possibly in the future other games. Tomorrow's guide, I believe, will be a Tracer guide, so if you are interested in watching that, please make sure to come back. The easiest way to do it is just subscribe. You'll see all my new videos as they come out. My goal is to try to get one video out a day for you all. I hope everybody has a great night. Enjoy, and good luck on Overwatch.